Hello, English learners. Welcome back to your cozy space to improve your English through calm and real conversations. I am Emma.
And I am Henry. We are so genuinely happy that you decided to spend this time with us.
Henry, before we dive in, let us do a quick check-in. How are you feeling today?
I am doing very well, actually. I had a tiny moment of peace this morning. I was sitting by the window, and it started to rain. I just stopped everything and listened to the drops for a few minutes. It was incredibly grounding.
Oh, I love that. Just listening to the rain. It is so simple, but it completely resets your mind.
Exactly. What about you, Emma? How was your day going?
I am doing all right. I actually caught myself rushing through my morning routine today, but then I forced myself to stop, sit down, and just drink my tea in complete silence for 2 minutes.
Just 2 minutes?
Yes, just 2 minutes, but it felt like I was finally arriving in my own body again.
Arriving in your own body. That is a beautiful way to say it. And for anyone listening to us right now, perhaps you need that exact feeling today. A small moment to just arrive and be present.
So our topic today could not be more perfect. We are talking about how to value yourself above anyone else. And we do not mean this in an arrogant way. We mean it in a deeply healthy, necessary way.
Exactly. We are talking about honoring your needs, protecting your peace, and never abandoning yourself just to make others comfortable.
Just a quick note for our listeners. This is an intermediate level episode. So if you are around a B1 or B2 level, this will be perfect for you. And if you are a beginner, do not worry at all.
Right. You do not need a dictionary for every word. Just let our voices play, catch the phrases you know, and let the rest flow over you like a gentle stream. That is still excellent practice.
Absolutely. Today, we are going to walk through some very practical habits to build your self-worth. We will talk about setting limits, dealing with that harsh voice inside your head, and finding peace in your daily routine.
We will use very normal, everyday examples, work, friendships, text messages, because self-care is not just about spa days. It's about how you live your Tuesday afternoon.
And a very quick reminder, if you find our podcast helpful, please take a second to subscribe and like this video. It's a small click for you, but it truly helps our channel grow.
We would also love it if you left a comment today. Tell us one small thing you will do to protect your peace this week. We read every single comment.
And as always, stick around until the end. We will do our calm vocabulary review, where we slow down and explain the most useful words from today's chat.
All right, before we jump into the first idea, take one deep, comfortable breath. There is absolutely no rush here.
You are safe here. Let us begin. Henry, the first concept we want to share is quite powerful, isn't it?
It really is. Here is the core truth. The way you treat yourself is the instruction manual you hand to the world.
The instruction manual. I really like that comparison. You do not have to say a word, but people read your actions.
Precisely. If you are constantly putting yourself last, people unconsciously read that manual and think, oh, Henry likes being last. I will put him last too.
That is so true. When you establish your own value, people naturally adapt to it. But when you ignore your own needs, you accidentally teach people bad habits.
Can you think of an example from your own life, Emma?
Oh, definitely. A few years ago, I had a terrible habit of over-volunteering. At my old job, whenever someone needed an extra presentation done, I would immediately raise my hand, even if my schedule was completely full.
Just to be the helpful one.
Exactly. I thought I was being a team player, but eventually it became an expectation. My manager stopped asking if I had time. He just started assigning me the extra work automatically.
You built a trap out of your own kindness.
I really did. And one Friday, I was completely exhausted, and I finally said no. My manager looked genuinely shocked and a little annoyed.
Because you changed the rules on him. You had trained him to expect an automatic yes.
Exactly. It was not his fault. It was the instruction manual I had given him. I had to learn that true kindness requires offense.
Offense. That brings us perfectly to the concept of boundaries. In English, a boundary is a line you draw around your energy and your time. It defines what you will accept and what you will not.
And I love your metaphor, Henry. A boundary is not a thick brick wall. It is more like a garden gate.
A garden gate, yes. You can still see the beautiful flowers, you can still chat over the fence, but you are the one holding the key to the latch.
You decide who gets to walk into your garden, and you decide when it is time to lock the gate and just be alone.
But we have to be honest. When you first install that gate, some people will rattle the handle. They will get frustrated that they cannot just walk in anymore.
Yes, the people who benefited from your lack of boundaries will always be the most upset when you finally create them.
But their frustration is not your responsibility. You are simply raising your standard. And to do that, you have to truly believe you are worth protecting.
Which leads us to a very deep topic: self-worth.
Self-worth means knowing that your value as a human being is permanent. It does not go up and down depending on your productivity or your mistakes.
Yes, your worth is not attached to your bank account, your physical appearance, or how well you speak English today.
Many of us fall into the trap of seeking external validation. Validation is when you need other people to constantly tell you that you are doing a good job.
Validation feels wonderful, like a warm blanket. But if you rely on it entirely, you become incredibly fragile.
Because the moment someone takes that blanket away, you freeze. I have a story about this.
Please share it.
Last winter, I bought a new coat. I absolutely loved it. I felt so confident walking out of the store. But the next day, an acquaintance saw me and made a tiny, sarcastic joke about the color.
Oh no, what happened?
Instantly, my confidence vanished. I literally took the coat off as soon as I got to my car and threw it in the back seat. I let one random comment completely destroy my joy.
Because you handed them the remote control to your emotions.
Exactly. I was borrowing my worth from their opinion. So, here is a phrase for our listeners to remember. My value is not up for negotiation.
I love that. My value is not up for negotiation. When you internalize that, you stop performing for an audience.
You stop being an actor in your own life. And when the performance stops, you finally have the quiet space to get to know yourself.
And self-awareness is the absolute foundation of self-love. You cannot take care of a person if you do not know what they need.
So how do we practice self-awareness, Emma?
I think it starts by noticing your energy levels. You have to ask yourself, what fills my cup and what completely drains it?
To drain something means to empty it out, like pulling the plug in a bathtub. For me, scrolling through negative news on my phone drains me instantly.
For me, it is certain group chats. When my phone constantly buzzes with gossip or complaints, it feels like a leaky faucet. Drop by drop, my energy just disappears.
A leaky faucet. That is a great visual. And the goal is not to judge yourself. You do not say, "Oh, I am so weak for getting tired."
No, you just observe it. You say, this environment drains my energy, so I need to put my phone on silent.
It's about clearing the fog. When your mind is foggy, everything feels confusing. But when you take a quiet walk without your phone, the fog lifts.
And once the fog lifts, you might notice some automatic behaviors you want to change. For example, the apology reflex.
Oh, the apology reflex. This is incredibly common. It's when you say sorry for absolutely everything, even when you have done nothing wrong.
Yes, saying sorry when someone bumps into you on the street, or saying sorry for asking a normal question in a meeting.
Or apologizing to a chair when you bump into it.
Exactly. We laugh, but it is a way of making yourself physically and emotionally smaller. It is like you are apologizing for taking up oxygen.
Of course, if you step on someone's foot, you should apologize. But do not apologize for simply existing.
I once caught myself apologizing to a waiter because he brought me the wrong coffee. I said, "I'm so sorry, but I think I ordered a latte." Why was I apologizing?
Because you did not want to be an inconvenience. But Emma, you are allowed to take up space.
We all are. And when you stop making yourself small Another character usually appears in your mind, the backseat driver.
Ah, the inner critic. That loud negative voice in your head that constantly tells you that you took the wrong turn.
The inner critic loves to say things like, "You are going to fail," or "Everyone is judging your English right now."
The danger is that we treat that voice like a news reporter. We think it is delivering facts, but it is usually just broadcasting fear.
So how do we turn down the volume on that broadcast?
A very effective trick is to imagine you are talking to your best friend. If your friend mispronounced a word, would you look at them and say, "You are so stupid"?
Never. I would say, "Do not worry about it. You are doing great."
Exactly. But we say terrible things to ourselves all day long. We live with a bully in our own minds.
And because the bully is inside, you cannot just walk away. You have to change the dialogue. When a negative thought appears, just pause and ask, "Is this a fact or is this just fear?"
Usually it is just fear. Fear loves to exaggerate. It takes one spilled cup of coffee and tells you that your entire life is a disaster.
Facts are much calmer. A fact just says, "You spilled the coffee. Clean it up and try again."
Mistakes are just data. They are just information on how to do better next time. They are not a tattoo on your identity.
And when you start treating yourself with that kind of grace, setting boundaries becomes so much easier.
Because you are no longer defending yourself out of anger. You are protecting yourself out of deep self-respect.
But we know that saying no is still incredibly difficult for people pleasers. A people pleaser is someone who sacrifices their own comfort to keep everyone else happy.
And when a people pleaser finally says no, the guilt is overwhelming. The guilt screams at you, telling you that you are a bad friend.
But saying no is actually a profound act of care. If you say yes to everything, you will eventually burn out and resent the people you are helping.
So let us give our listeners some polite, simple ways to say no in English without writing a giant paragraph of excuses.
I love this. You can simply say, "I am at capacity right now, but thank you for thinking of me."
Or, "I need to pass on this tonight. I am prioritizing some rest."
Notice how short those are. No long stories. Over-explaining is a trap. It makes you look like you are begging for permission.
Just be warm, but be firm. And when you finally start saying no to the things that drain you, you get a beautiful reward. You get empty space.
Yes, space in your calendar and space in your mind. And that is exactly where joy lives. Joy needs room to breathe.
If your life is packed with obligations, you will not even notice the beautiful sunset outside your window.
A lot of people treat happiness like a finish line. They think, once I finish this huge project, and once my English is completely perfect, then I will allow myself to be happy.
But perfection is a ghost. You will never catch it. If you wait for a flawless life to be happy, you will be waiting forever.
Joy is not the finish line. It is the water you drink along the journey. It is the slow cup of coffee, the good song on the radio, the comfortable sweater.
Please do not let the internet dictate what a good life looks like. The internet will tell you that you need a luxury vacation to be happy, but maybe your perfect evening is just reading a book on your sofa.
Exactly. Protect your energy, honor your own values, and give yourself the grace to try again when you fail.
Because you will have hard days, but people who practice self-love have a special ability. They bounce back.
To bounce back means to recover your strength after a difficulty, like a tennis ball hitting the ground and flying right back up.
They still feel the pain, but they do not add shame to the pain. They forgive themselves.
Forgiveness is putting down the heavy backpack of old mistakes. You learn the lesson, but you leave the heavy guilt behind.
You deserve to walk lightly. You deserve a fresh start every single morning.
If you are feeling a little emotional right now, just take a slow breath. You are doing wonderfully.
And to help ground us, it is time for our Calm Word Tour. We will slow our pace and review the most useful expressions we used today.
Just listen and let the words settle into your memory. The first word is boundary.
A boundary is a personal limit. It is the invisible line that protects your energy. For example,
She set a boundary by turning off her work phone on weekends.
Our next word is validation.
Validation is the act of seeking approval from others to feel good about yourself. For instance, he posted the photo because he needed validation from his friends.
Then we talked about the verb to drain.
To drain means to slowly empty or exhaust your energy. For example, arguing about politics always drains me completely.
We also mentioned the inner critic.
The inner critic is the negative voice inside your head that points out your flaws. For instance, my inner critic was very loud when I made that mistake.
Another great phrase was people pleaser.
A people pleaser is someone who always tries to make others happy, often ignoring their own needs. For example, as a people pleaser, she found it impossible to say no to the invitation.
We used the phrase at capacity.
Being at capacity means you have no more room, time, or energy to take on new tasks. For instance, I would love to help, but I am currently at capacity.
And finally, we used the phrasal verb bounce back.
To bounce back means to recover quickly from a setback or a difficult situation. For example, the team had a bad loss, but they will bounce back next week.
That completes our word tour for today. You do not have to memorize this entire list right now.
Just pick one phrase that truly connects with your life. Maybe you need to set a boundary this week, or maybe you are learning to bounce back.
We would love it if you practiced by leaving a comment below. Use one of our new phrases and tell us about your day.
Your actual life is the best material for learning English. Do not worry about perfect grammar. Just focus on honest communication.
Thank you so much for letting us be part of your routine today. I am Emma.
And I am Henry. Take good care of yourselves, and we will see you next time.